the way it leans a great deal by how Cloud9 come out on this map. We know this is a stronghold for Sentinels. We know this is a good map for Sentinels. How does Cloud9 fare against that? Because you've got footage now. You can go over the VODs, you can watch this back, you can see what they do. I want them to have a bit of a plan in mind. So for me, I think the pressure a little bit does fall on Cloud9 to be able to handle the Sentinels on map 1. It's got to start now.
All right, you can see the early smokes coming out of the Omen for the Sentinels. That's zombs laying it down at B, trying to draw everyone off. Meanwhile, Spike on your map, easing its way into the A site. They're just going to get some utility out early, but already seeing the defenders move shows you that Cloud9, they're ready to pounce, but they're also respecting the ability of Sentinels just to burst onto a site.
Now, this is pretty important. That was a bit of a feint towards B from two of the players there. They haven't fully committed towards A. This is a big stack from the defensive side. They were stacked up in middle. Now, Tenz could be a game changer. He could slice this in half, or he gets the timing wrong and gets found by Sick. Imperative kill, and suddenly you can see how they're moving around the map on the attacking side has punished any of the information finding that Cloud9 wanted to do here.
Sick has not taken a bullet of damage and already racked up 2 kills on that Sage. We are highlighting him earlier, already living up to the hype. As we take a look at Dapr, he's going to be easing out to the A site. And with just 3 defenders left, you know the Sentinels can go wherever they want. Dapr's going to make it just 2 defenders left. The Spike's going to go down over at B. Dapr just drawing all the attention. And it's only a matter of time. It's going to be a 2v4 retake opportunity for Mitch. And we'll see what he can do with his Sova. It's going to be tough for Shinobi, the end-game leader, to make a call significant enough to get past all 4.
You just drop your spoon in the cereal bowl?
My wife just handed me a bowl of watermelon. Sorry, I was distracted, guys. Thank you.
God, now I want some of that.
It's
Jeez.
delicious.
All right. I'm jealous, but this retake is taking some time. They have no information. They were isolated over towards A, so retaking towards the site, they have to clear so much. I see this being very tricky, especially with the post-plant positioning coming out. They are dedicated towards the site, but they've got that swing of Omen over towards the halls, and they're going to have to isolate him first, but time, it's ticking, and Six having none of it. This is a lovely beginning here. Clean as well, 3 standing after the plant. Nicely handled by the Sentinels. Cloud9 wanting that information on the defensive side cost them a little bit there. It seems as though the Sentinels were quite ready for that. They seem to be ready to punish it. Sick, catching a couple in that regard was brilliant for them. Now, for Cloud9 coming back in, let's do some damage, boys. I like that mid stack. I like that little idea they came up with there to try and make something happen. It did get picked apart, but I want to see more creativity in that regard. Show me a new way to look at this map now.
Sick, after picking up 3 kills, is able to buy up all the way to the Phantom. So this is a big purchase, a risky one if you run into the Sheriffs. But looking at the economy here for Cloud9, only Tenz is going to go with that big gun. The pistol, headshot or nothing. We'll see if Tenz can continue to work his magic. First opportunity, and he is instantly cut down by Zombs, who just charges up the gut.
They're so confident on these ghosts. It's ridiculous, Zombs. The nation's watching, and he does at least get 2, and Sick being the support. That's beautiful. ShahZaM, good utility work. Clean, crisp, nicely handled. I'm impressed so far by the Sentinels, but let's take stock for this. We weren't looking to see if Sentinels can play this map. We know they can. We were seeing if Cloud9 can go toe-to-toe on one of the best maps for the Sentinels. This is a longer series. It's not as, you know, cut and dry. It's not as short as it was before. This is a big round. And this is where some of the creativity we've seen from Sentinels can tip this in their favor. So I want to see that really valid fight back. But look how much they've been manhandling this economy, Puckett. Barely 3 kills made for the Cloud9 here. Their money's going to be very low, so going forward, that op is pretty far away from Tenz here, which is unfortunate because he's so talented on it.
He went with the Sheriff buy and didn't get any picks with it, so a costly round. Now going to the Vandal. We saw him playing with a Guardian, Vandal, Phantom, Operator. He pulls it all out throughout this tournament. But what can he get done? Playing from short A, he is going to be here to support, but it's just the 2 of them on the site. And this is going to be tough. Vice slowing them down, is going to back up as Tenz is looking for the first pick. Opportunity right here. Is he going to spray? Doesn't connect with anything yet, and the rotation is here. So middle of the map, still not watched really by anyone. But the attackers know we can't push through. There's too many guns on the other side right now.
So far, they've drawn a bit of utility. Tenz does only have that 1 smoke currently, but beyond that, they're trying to get the utility away from the defensive side. They're trying to make sure when they do go for the site hit that they want to, they'll be clear to do it. And also, they're trying to catch rotations. You could see the attacking side falling back to the attacking spawn, see if anyone's behind them. There isn't. So they're now going to fall back towards A. There is only 35 seconds here, Puckett. This is quite a risky hit. They might go for the dry peek once that smoke dissipates, or walk the smoke. It looks like that's going to be the case. This could catch off Cloud9, but no. Tenz is way too aware for that.
And that's the most important kill. You took out Sick, who had the resurrect. Sinatra's here to trade. zombs is going to answer back on Vice, but it's Relyks holding strong through short A, and it's a big defensive stand on the gun round from Cloud9. That is exactly what they needed. Now, looking at the money, I believe the Sentinels still could do some damage. It's going to be everyone but zombs able to go all the way up to the Phantom. In fact, he is going to sacrifice the full armor for a Phantom himself. And that was a great performance by the defense, but you got to break him twice because it was such a great start from the Sentinels.
I like that answer back, though, from Cloud9. That crossfire held. They didn't go for over-rotations. They weren't called off by that little bit of a feign back towards spawn. They didn't, double or triple kind of guess what was going on. They held really, really solid. That is a great indicator for Cloud9 here. And again, this could be a pacier piece, but they're not afraid to show that they're over towards A right now, at least for the Sentinels. But they've again got that kind of two-play split when you've got your Cypher and your Omen lingering a little bit more towards B in middle. But Tenz is actively trying to get the information on this, and so far so good until then. Shinobi going down opens up the site, and uh-oh, it's unraveling. Tenz has to try and hold on to this.
Tenz was able to get ShahZaM Sick there with the instant res. And now Tenz is deciding, do I go ahead and updraft? Do I tell my teammates I can? Well, the peak is coming from above, and Tenz somehow turns and punishes Sinatraa. The first 1v1 we see, Sinatraa had the first bullets in him, but Tenz gets the flick.
A retake time? What do we have here? We've got the Jet, we've got Omen's got a lot of utility too. They could try and base it off the back of maybe something coming in. Oh, the dry peek from Tenz. A little too early, going ahead of the smokes and the utility, but Sick's gonna punish him so quickly, and now they're all pouring in from the same angle, Puckett. This might be over. I don't know if they can do this one back now.
Yeah, this is tough. We have seen teams back away with the weapons at that point. This time they try and commit, and they are punished. So finally, the Sentinels are broke. Let's take a look at how Tenz just snaps. Love that. At the same time, Mitch was able to find zombs, the top fraggers removed. And Sick tried to hold his own. 7-2, a great performance so far from the Sage, but I mean, you got to give it. Sentinels are rolling here. 3-1, and excuse me, guys. I just noticed the operators coming out for Mitch. I was a little thrown off in that last fight, but we'll see what they can do with a half buy. This is going to be messy, Warren.
Yeah, it is, and well, it's on Mitch, right? You got to be the game changer here. They're going to try and use their aggression to take map control and allow that op to come into play. Tenz didn't have to go for the op because he can just pop the knives out. That's going to try and keep his economy building. So this is a really big investment actually for Cloud9. This is a huge investment of their utility and money, and it's a lot of pressures on someone like Mitch. So for him, a little bit paranoid about middle there, trying to focus towards those B halls, which, hey, is not the bad call for now. But we have to see what Sentinels do. Their attacking side hasn't been one-dimensional. They've been throwing a couple of curveballs here and there. So again, Mitch could get some play if they peel back away through mid. This could bode really well for him.
Let's see what they can do. Out comes the drone from the Sentinels. And there's often been middle presence from Tenz. Where's the defender at on the map this time? Tenz knives out, and this is where he's been at his best. When you look at their eco rounds, often it was Sheriffs and Tenz getting the job done with this all. If he gets one, he will go flying through the air and often rack up a second. Playing the tight corner, he is going to hear some of the jumps and make the call.
There it is. Mitch does well. That's exactly what you need. He doesn't need to overpeak now. He needs to hold the angle, maybe a deeper one, allow the play to come through from his teammates like Tenz. He's waiting for the moment. Sova's baiting for him, tries to get the attention, but by now, look at where the T-side, attacking side of Sentinels is going. They've isolated off the Omen. Relyks would have to walk through his own smoke here, which he's going to do. Catching off Sick, but the trade comes back in from zombs, so the spike can be planted at B. We saw a very similar piece coming out on the attacking side from the Sentinels before, but it's retake time and it's very viable now.
Mitch just earned his res, and he is going to instantly use it. So they've got the numbers. What will they be able to do? All pushing through the middle together. It's just a Cypher and the Omen back on site. And no smokes up right now. Zom's going to try and be the one to help out his teammate here. The Cypher playing the tight corner, but it's going to be Zombs now isolated on the site. As Dapr peeks, he's got the right timing, and that's all three lining up for him. I thought zombs was going to be in trouble. I thought they would be watching their flank from B main. Instead, the punish is there.
You can't ask for anything more than that. That 3K at the end, the patience as well, the trigger discipline. Let him cross, bides his time. He knows where the other two are now. It's so well done. I love to see that. But that has now broken the back of Cloud9, and we saw that big investment into the op, the ultimate being popped by Tenz. It was all looking good. That 3v2, I just, the individual power coming out from the opposition just outdid him. It is what it is. And now a weak bye for Cloud9.
Yeah, they're still spending. You saw a stinger coming out from Relyks. They want to take the short-range fights, just pistols. The big one, though, on Tenz. Will he find a Sheriff headshot? Not this time. Hits the shoulder, but zombs is going to find his body multiple times here with the Phantom.
I know exactly.
All 5 players stacked up in the mid as they're still working their way, getting utility out, and that ultimate is going to give them all the info they needed.
Gotta play this together, though. There's still threats with these pistols. You can't take them too lightly, especially in these players' hands. But for now, zombs doing work. Nicely played. Sinatraa clearing up. They're keeping it clean. They're not letting any of these potential threats come through. You want to keep your economy high and ensure the opponents don't steal a gun away. They don't, maybe make some money. Sinatraa could be caught off. The cape gives it away, and Mitch is going to get that nicely. So you can see the instant trade wanted. ShahZaM going to shut it down before the gun can be recovered. And only one loss. This is a big round lead now. Let's kind of call it what it is. MR12, right? It's brutal. These sort of leads get tough because then again, your economy just doesn't get off those starting blocks. We finally see Tenz with the op, but it's taken time to get here for sure. So this has to be the big swing round. They've got to put those rounds on the board now, Puckett.
Yeah, we mentioned it. They gave up 8 in a row as they lost in the group stages to the Sentinels, had no answer for the attack. What will they be able to do on defense? Where do they position Tenz? Is he going to keep playing this catwalk? Will they ever send him mid? Mitch was opting from there earlier, so I guess they're trying to try a new angle. And zombs got to smoke. Will he peek it aggressively? They were doing it in the early rounds, and here we go. Defense wants to take mid control, and they're going to get in the face of the Sentinels.
They've got to know what's up. These deep smokes, this pressure, they've got to know someone's pushed up middle. They've worked it out. ShahZaM feels the pressure now. Gonna get at least a little bit of a clear towards the corner, swings on it, but does he expect potentially 3 players? It doesn't matter. He isolates Shinobi. Oh dear, Cloud9, this was such a nice idea, but they worked it out so quickly.
And A is wide open. You can see already taken. Vice is holding up top, but there's 2 players already on the site. Now ShahZaM is gonna plant this safely by the generator, I assume. And we'll see if any ultimates will come through on a retake attempt. Relyks in the back, waiting for the flank, and there is zombs. So at least 1 player down. Still have to get through the other 4. Sick playing the site. Rest backing into main. And Sinatraa still holding from hell.
Oh, Sick on the angle there. Gonna punish Tenz. A nice attempt, but Sick's now in trouble. Can't see too much. ShahZaM's got his back, trying to trade effectively. Cage goes down, and Relyks says hello. That's huge, but still, you've got Dapr alive, and after that last clutch, I ain't gonna doubt him. Sentinels continue again. Dapr. I was impressed yesterday, and it's just continuing to be impressed by this player. And I love the switch up from Cloud9. When things aren't going your way, throw a curveball in there. Try and do something different. The mid-aggression wasn't a bad idea, but it was a great response from the Sentinels. They felt that pressure. They saw those deeper smokes that maybe they weren't seeing before. And like, hey, that's a little different here. This isn't right. What's going on? And that pick from ShahZaM made everything worthwhile. Relyks with a valiant attempt, but couldn't clutch it in the end.
All right, do that a little bit later in the game, and I will keep watching your screen, Relyks. The man had a nasty transfer, all for naught as Dapr holds strong. Dapr on your screen to open things up, draws the attention as Sick is going to take down Mitch. And this could be a fast B, or we'll see Sentinels do what they do. Feint early, get a pick, back up, get a pick on the other side of the map, then finally commit with about 40 seconds left. As we take a look at the defenders, they're going to rotate 2 over to B. We're going to have some mid presence. No one on A at the moment.
A bit of info. That's not bad, but God, the economy is so bad. Man, this is hard for Cloud9. I actually feel kind of bad for them. They're struggling here. Nice work from Dapr again.
Pistols versus assault rifles all day. Vice had a sheriff, but it's not big enough. Sinatraa is going to power his way through with zombs. 1 HP, and he keeps his gun. That's frustrating as you look at the stats after the round. Vice not able to land the headshots, and it's going to cost him after getting just 1. Sentinels able to win the easy ones. Will they be able to win a matchup against a double operator? Their first real test here in the first half.
I want to see if they switch up their approach, because obviously in this game you can see the other team's money, right? You get to see the opponent's cash, so they can theorize a double op could be invested into, and it's what someone like TSM went to when they were losing rounds like this, so surely they've got a bit of a plan in mind. I wonder what it is, though. Let's see if they can pull off something quick, maybe. We'll find out. I'm looking at what that Omen's going to do, because they're going to be lurking in middle here. It looks like the smoke comes in to block off short on A. It isolates the two players on the site, and I think they're going to go off the back of this, but look at Jet. Tucked away in that cubby, could do some work.
And zombs maybe popping the ultimate here as the Omen trying to just distract, but it's going to be his teammates getting run down in the middle. Sinatra's able to trade out one and pops the ultimate. He saw multiple players on the site. Can he finish these kills? Both the Omen and Cypher weak, and Relyks will go down. Now the counter ult from Shinobi. Got him pinned in wide, but unable to connect. So Sinatraa surviving, and that is going to be enough to break onto A. Mitch, operator, in hand, finds zombs as they try and retreat. So I thought just as Sinatraa was going to push through, Mitch gets an angle, and now this is a way more interesting 1v1 with plenty of time left on the clock for the attacker Sinatraa.
All right, let's see what Sinatraa does. A 1v1. For HP is pretty decent. He's still got a little bit of utility. And on the other side, they still... I wonder if they stick with the op. And of course, if you are Mitch, you can't be the first one to rotate on this. You got to wait out patiently until you hear that spike being planted. So for now, Sinatraa hasn't been called upon this game, I feel. Instantly on towards the owl drone, see if the player did rotate early, if they were close. This should give them a little bit of time to feel safer in these post plants. Look for that early information. Does he spot him? Might have seen him towards CT. I think he has. And Sinatraa going through all that utility Puckett. This is going to be tough for the play back in from Cloud9.
All right, Mitch has got the operator, though. One bullet to the body is going to give you the kill, and he actually swapped it out to a Phantom on the rotation. So Sinatraa caught peek in the wrong direction, didn't want to play the expected deep position on the site. In case that sniper came into play, Mitch with a nice clutch in the 1v2. Makes it 2-7. Sentinels still have an opportunity to bring this back to a 7-5 half. Excuse me, the C9 still has an opportunity to make it a 7-5 half, but we'll see if they can make it back-to-back rounds. They haven't been able to do so yet. Double ops are gone, though. Will they buy up again? Tenz is going to get it, right? Nope, going with the rifle.
No. Okay, fair enough. And again, this is a best of 5, so... The big thing here is you don't want to get a blowout on the first game. Morally, it's going to be pretty rough. So you want to try and do some damage. As much as it sounds very self-explanatory, the mental sort of toll that you're going to get if you lose in such a dramatic fashion could definitely echo on. But for now, Cloud9 with that little bit of a stabilizing moment in that last round is a really good look. So hopefully they roll this back, and it looks like the Sentinels might have considered some mid-aggression coming out again, but it wasn't the case this time around.
Tenz is going to know at least the location of one, and here's the jumping from Sick on the outside. So mid has been taken by the Sentinels. Cloud9 aware of it. Will they be able to trade? One of the issues with this comp is you really just have the paranoia to flash. And a good tripwire is going to slow the push. Relyks getting aggressive, goes up over the wall from Sick. They're not going to see this coming, but ShahZaM is there to punish. Spike has been located, and here comes the rotation.
Yeah, it's down to Vice to try and buy some time. He just about takes down Sinatraa. Nice pop on the ult. Maybe gets that last bit of info. How much time does he have? Not enough. Dapr there on the swing. Tenz and Shinobi, though, know what's coming on. And now we're down to ShahZaM to try and do the damage. A 1v2 ain't going to be easy trying to bait it away. Tries to do what he can. Shinobi, he's having none of it. It's stabilization time for Cloud9. They've got a couple of rounds now. This is enough of breathing room to come through, but that kind of late game hold coming out was excellent. I was so worried. Once that trade came in, I was like, oh no, they're going to tear away. But Vice just about bought enough time there to allow those rotations. Look at CT on the minimap there, or the defensive side approach to B. It was a second away from getting that support system there in place. So nicely played to buy the time on that B site.
All right, these are two big rounds for me, because if you watch the group stages, I was watching Tenz's stream, and they were having so much success on the attack. It was their defense that is the expected weakness. Here comes an aggressive paranoia, and Tenz is going to work on top of it. 3K to kick that round off. A big start here for C9. Now they're starting to build that confidence.
Tenz is nuts. Where's that guy been the whole time? I guess you can't throw it out every round, but that sort of play... Oh, it makes me smile. You love to see that sort of stuff. And this is going to break the Sentinels this round. They have no play back towards the spike, so they've got to try and approach from another angle. And maybe Tenz just wants it all for himself. That's his fourth this round. And he might just find the final player. He knows that the Dapr's been playing on this side. He's going for it. He can't quite connect on that shot he needed. But that's the power of Tenz.
And also credit to Relyks there. Everyone was paranoid. Hey, everybody. Here comes Dapr. Okay. Taking 2-3 guns off. This round is not done yet. 1v1. Vice versus Dapr. And of course, it's going to be up to Dapr to go for the plant.
This is going to be a timing moment, isn't it? Oh god, who turns at the right time? Oh, they've gone around each other here for now. And retrieval of the spike. It's going to be the fight, right? As soon as they hear that they're there, he'll swing on it. Surely. Surely.
Yeah, Vice can just bait this one out. He's seen the spike. He's holding the angle. And now you're peeking with a Spectre. That is confidence right there. You expect him to be coming for it. And against a Phantom, that is a big win. Cloud9 pulls it out, but that was a little bit messy in the middle after a fantastic start from Tenz.
A little sick piece there. Just to throw it in every now and then. Do that sort of play. So nice. And it just keeps you on your toes on the attacking side. You can never rest on your laurels. I love to see that. That makes me so happy that Tenz can just throw that in as a curveball. It's perfect. Those 3 kills were huge. Bear in mind, that round was almost clutched back. It came down to a 1v1, even after 4 kills from Tenz. So God only knows what would have happened if that didn't come through. But for now, let's see what the Sentinels bring out this round, because it looks like a little bit more of a lean towards B this time.
Sinatraa with those recon bolts is going to get the information. They're definitely in B main. And now the shock darts will be coming down. Shock dart. Mitch from the door. He's been so good with the headshots. You saw him with the ace as an attacker last night. What can he do on defense? Is it still going to be 3, make it 4 stacked up at B main? I think this is going to be a commitment from the Sentinels.
Nowhere to run.
Oh, that's definitely going to be a goer, isn't it? You get a pick like that, you're going to want more. But you know that this has been a pretty well-predicted piece by now. But the paranoia is setting in for the defensive team, and they're going for maybe a mid retake? So they've left the B site completely. They've stacked up in middle, and surely ShahZaM has just seen all of that. So this should spur on the hit. It does. Here comes Dapr leading the way, trying to clear out the site. Sinatraa does find Vice, but by now the revive comes back in as the trade was there for Mitch, and Mitch is just on patrol here, not allowing people to cross cleanly towards the site.
It's the final round of the half. Could be playing this one slow to go for the resurrect, but Tenz isn't slowing down by any means. Out comes the jet ult, and the daggers come flying. Mitch looking for more. It's Tenz who's gonna get his second, and there we go. 3 kills for each players and the defuse. Cloud9, after looking so sloppy, what was it, 7-1 at the start? They come back and make this a 7-5 score.
Okay, Tenz has just won them 2 rounds. I'm gonna put it for free. Tenz has just won 2 rounds there for them. That was insane work from him in that final moment there. Like, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, Dapr's moment here was beautiful as well. Very nicely played. I think there's something to be said about Cloud9 not checking on that corner deep enough. Obviously, if you do check deep into that corner, you are open up to short. So I get it, but obviously it did create a bit of a problem. But belting start from the Sentinels. We know their defense is good as well, but it was a wake-up call, and it looked like it did awaken Tenz the Beast. He did come alive in the later stages of this. So looking at this one, just beautiful synergy with the Omen blind coming in. Just everything you wanted off the back of that.
Pretty solid stuff from the Sentinels this time around on their attacking side. Not as good against TSM comparatively, but we'll see what they're able to do now on the defense. Cloud9, remember, 7-5 in the group stages on their attack. Will they get that early momentum and win the pistol game? 6 says no, and how good has this man been in the pistol rounds? Last time he opened up with the first 2 picks, same thing here in round 13.
Bit of defensive-sided aggression on the pistol off the back of that contact, leaving the last 2 players for the newly appointed attacking side in all kinds of trouble. Relyks, oh, the timing couldn't have been worse. Vice there, trying to do what he can, finds zombs. Relyks goes back in, finds ShahZaM. Ooh, Sinatraa does go down as well. This is suddenly very, very possible. What a messy start here, but Vice, can you clutch this up in a 1v2 now?
Mitch was able to pull off a 1v2 earlier. It's now Vice's turn. Just a classic. And you got Sick playing around the corner with Dapr. Sick's gonna make some noise picking up that Sheriff, and he's gonna make it count. 4 kills for Sick. The man is gonna have a Phantom in the second round again. Expect that one coming up. Here's how it all started. The double peek. You saw it on B long, on Bind from Sinatraa playing with ShahZaM. This time it's Sick and ShahZaM with the peek. Relyks, pretty good against multiple targets. I want to give it to the Omen for Cloud9 so far. He's been playing strong. But if you're looking at stars of this game, I think we definitely got to highlight Sage, especially in the early rounds here from the Sentinels.
100%. I mean, I'm so used to singing Sinatra's praise on this map. It's great seeing everyone else showing exactly what they can bring to this. And this is one of those moments where you get the slow in combination to the, you know, information piece coming out from Sinatraa, the spam. It's known. We all know it. But it works very well. It's a very diligent play, and it's going to buy time. For now, though, on the opposing side, you got to look at what Cloud9 can bring here. We've got Ghosts. We don't have any armor, of course. They're going to be very low on the econ, so they're going to have to just kind of be somewhat quiet in this round. If they can get maybe a spike plant, that'd be great. Maybe a gun away, even better. But it's not a huge investment either from the Sentinels. Of course, their purchase is going to be relatively quiet too.
I'm trying to figure out how you get through this defense right now. And there's one of the keys, is to make sure that ShahZaM doesn't know where you're headed. ShahZaM has been known to play deep back at the spawn, watching mid. While it's Sinatraa playing the B site. Will they know that there's 3 this direction, though? It looks like we're going to see Vice calling it out. Guys, I think we can press the action at A. Cameras are out on both sides.
They've drawn the additional man, the float player towards B. So there's those 3 players on B. They get the 5v2 potentially. The camera can act as almost an additional man for information for free. So here we go. Going to spot the first, but can they control the hit now coming through? Tenz is right there, but Tenz goes down. Nice control from zombs. 3 is exemplary. But there are still players around that could cause problems. 15 HP ain't a great deal.
Vice is able to pick up 2. Round's not over yet. Now it's going to be so tough. Last man standing. Relyks is going to fall. Expected loss when you look at the weaponry, as it's going to be Sentinels holding strong on the defensive end. And so far, I think the difference between this matchup versus what you saw against Homeless last night, Tenz is not getting success on these entries. He was constantly flying in and getting the first pick yesterday, and of course the day before in the quarterfinals. Sentinels not giving them the opportunity. They're outgunning them. They've got the better weaponry, and of course playing safer positions.
Right here. Right here.
Okay. Let's see what Cloud9 has in store. I always like to watch the attacking teams. It's a heavy lean towards A. They've got a little bit of mid control coming out from their Sage to keep an eye on it, but no pressure, no presence towards that B side. So if they do go for this hit, it's going to have to be pretty swift. I'm wondering if Tenz goes in with utility or goes to the kind of contact play.
He's going to go right into his smoke.
Yeah,
he was doing
exactly
this all
that.
yesterday. Spike's already going down, but Dapr will find Vice. Spike planted. 4 attackers left. What can Tenz do from the top? There's his first. Sick is pushing through the smoke, and he's just dropped down. So they're going to force the pressure from the top. Instantly, the Owl drone is going to be cut down. And Shinobi holds strong. On the flank, though, it's Zombs. Tenz answers back. Good round so far for the attackers, and with just Sinatraa left, Mitch is going to eliminate him with the Vandal. And it is Cloud9 back on the board, 6-9 after giving up the early rounds. They win the big one, the important one with guns. But here come the Sentinels back on a buy of their own.
That was just a really big individual play from Tenz. For you to get onto the site for free like that, I guess with the investment of 2 of his own smokes, very well handled, opens it up perfectly for his teammates, and it seems like maybe a bit of a miscommunication there, because ShahZaM seemed very unaware that there was a potential that Tenz could get to the site. He walked through that Omen smoke completely unawares, so a little bit of a misplay there, misread, and an excellent outplay from Tenz. So again, as you said, still able to get a buy here for the Sentinels, but they're going to be put through their paces. It looks like Cloud9 is bringing a really nice attacking side now.
And I want to give credit to Mitch there. He saw how much money Sinatraa had. He instantly shot the dart, and then, of course, you hear the Odin just a few seconds later. Without the recon dart hitting anything, you're not going to get that vision. He won't be able to punish as well. Odin is just constantly spraying over at the B bomb site while ShahZaM snuck his way up to the middle and is going to find the first pick on Relyks catwalk. Shinobi has him in the corner, but won't be able to finish him with the shot.
This looks like another A hit, right? Like this is they've played it to absolute perfection. They're playing him like a fiddle here. No one's actively able to defend on the site by now. If they just walk this, they're going to get in for free. They don't know that, of course, but now they're going to find out as Tenz just walks in.
Mitch still holding mid while everyone else is pushing through, and there's the first stinger removed in the hands of zombs. Shinobi about to get a lot more information. They'll be able to shut the door, and they know all three are going to be pushing from the same direction. One player up top, though, is it's Sinatraa on the rotation with the Odin, finds Tenz. ShahZaM now gets his third and fourth kill. What a play. The duo of ShahZaM and Sinatraa getting the job done. For Sick in the mix as well.
I love that, though. The retake, excellent. Nice to see ShahZaM finding that form there. But this retake was scary for a good couple of seconds. You could see them trying to trade on that. Shinobi and Vice trying to combine to shut down ShahZaM, but didn't happen. The money's a bit of a mismatch as well for Cloud9 looking at that one. I want to see what buy they get off the back of this. It might be a little bit weird. An answer back, I think, is the main thing coming in for the Sentinels. I kind of isolate those first two rounds because they were pistol rounds. I look at the gun rounds as a different entity. That was a good retake. It's the first time we've seen that really nice, successful retake coming off the back of it because, you know, we saw that great sight hit from Tenz. And again, that proving how good they are on these A hits. So it's going to definitely get in the minds of the Sentinels that, oh, okay, they've shown this real prowess towards taking A. We can't over-rotate. They could hit it late in the round. So this isn't a bad idea. This is a good look so far, and Relyks again with that mid-pressure building so quickly, trying to clear out as they go in combination with the Owl drone. He gets some good mid-pressure. And honestly, this round, the Sentinels have absconded playing middle, really. They're very tucked in on the sides. They want some aggression towards A. There's a player on the other side. They outdo him, though, and Sinatraa outplays Mitch, and that's unfortunate. That's a little bit almost unfair the way he plays it, but he's
it's like
his
150th bullet that finally kills Mitch there. Mitch was dodging, he was healing early in the round, but you got to keep your eyes on Tenz. Anytime he has this jet alt up, he is able to do damage. There's the first, gets the instant reload, down goes the second, and finds the third. Tenz, 3 means that he will be able to get this plant off, and with just 2 defenders left, they're going to be in trouble going up against one of the best jets in the game, but a single bullet will cut him down.
No pressure, Tenz. Watching this cross. He gets one more. It's got to be done. They've got to be so aware of this angle. There it is. Execution towards Dapr. And you can see zombs trying to bait it out. But Tenz isn't falling for anything. As an individual, even on no HP, he is still operating at such a high level. Zombs does find him. How much time was bought? A great deal. I think Zombs knows it's now or never. Good random choice towards Shinobi, but he's got to move fast here, Puckett.
Has no idea where this player is, and Shinobi's paranoia is going to wear off. What a big round from Cloud9. After losing 2 players to start it off, it is one of the best players in the game, if not the best. Tenz making a statement again with the right clicks and then finding ShahZaM with the lefties. The best part of this, though, was we talked about it, Lauren, off camera, was just how Sinatraa and Tenz are so good at reacting off of sound cues, off of the info from other players using utility, using their kit. As soon as he hears that omen, he saw the tip of the gun from the Cypher, peeks out knowing the omen won't be able to help him out, gets the 1v1, and is able to clutch up. Here we go, though. Sentinels know the pressure is coming at B. At least Sick is going to hear some footsteps early. And now we'll see a full rotation. Will they get there in time? Or is it going to be Tenz and crew pushing through?
It's got to be. Tenz is aggressive. He knows he can outdo him on the site, and he's done just that. Trying to play this back in is going to be beyond difficult. ShahZaM with just the ghost, though, going to shut down Tenz. That's a gun recovered and then some. Now, Spike should be able to be planted. It is. It's down. It's retake time again for the Sentinels, but Cloud9, decent post-plants it.
We've been talking about ultimates. The Jet ult was so good last round, but ShahZaM has been on point with his Breach ultimate. The Rolling Thunder could totally throw off everyone on site. Going to force a player out. Perfect cage timing, though, as you're going to see Vice buying time. And I think it's all going to be based off of how ShahZaM plays. Here it comes.
That's huge. That's really big. Sinatraa in compliment as well. Fine Shinobi. Vice doing what he can, but it's down to 1. Mitch tucked in the corner, but time is ticking. He just has to buy time, but they're trying to stick the defuse here. Dapr is on patrol, but he's got no HP. Mitch is good for 1. He comes up the defuse. Is there time?
You gotta have.
I don't know if there is. It's going to be so close. No! Beautifully played by Mitch to buy just enough time to swing at the right moments. And that comes down to the wire here. What a great round from both teams. Honestly, this is such a great matchup.
This is going to be a fun series, and this is just the beginning. If you guys are joining us for the first time, this is the PAX Arena Valorant Invitational powered by Seagate Gaming. We are in the grand finals as Cloud9 and Sentinels matched up in Group D together. It was Sentinels taking the series 2-0, but since then, they have proven that they are some of the best squads in NA, taking down teams like TSM. You saw C9 taking down Homeless last night, who had upset T1 earlier in the bracket. It's been a fun tournament to watch, and definitely one of the most exciting finals we could ask for.
Why am I seeing ghosts in the kill feed? Excuse me? There we go. Thank you. Thanks for... Don't make me nervous. Don't make me nervous. Sinatraa, stop it. Don't do this.
They're not going to do it,
Cloud9,
are
don't
they?
throw this one. We don't throw these. We do not throw these rounds.
There's the res. They still got the guns against just a sheriff and a ghost. Smoke out from Tenz. Perfect placement there as Dapr won't be able to get any sights. A quick peek though from Sinatraa finds Tenz, and all of a sudden, this is trouble again. They have a spike. They can go anywhere on the map they want. Instead, they're trying to force this one into B. Sinatraa down to 2 HP. And he is so good at delaying. Does he know the Sage is directly above him, though? Mitch has his location and has him dead to rights. All right,
but look
2v1.
at this flank. Oof, I'm nervous. I'm nervous this has come down this far. It should be fine. It should be Cloud9's round. I think Mitch might have a good idea. Just backs away from the timing. So both of them know what's up. Dapr just about evading detection, creeping back in. He's found Shinobi. Oh my word. 8 bullets to play with unless he hits that reload. And the Sage cowering at the back, trying to play the time. Mitch has to be smart, on point, and he is. Dedicated towards the angle. Mitch, don't let it slip, but
that was against pistols.
Shouldn't have been that close.
Yeah, we should remind everybody that was against 3 ghosts, a sheriff, and I think a classic that round. Big hold to start things off. Sick is so good with that ghost at short range, but it is going to be Cloud9 taking their 9th round, about to tie it up potentially if they're able to get through Sinatra's Odin at the B site, or will they just lean over to A?
I'm just waiting to see what happens. You know, Tenz 1 away from his ult now. He gets one more pick. He's looking for it early too. If he gets that, pops the knives maybe, or saves it for if the economy dips a little bit. But what a turn back here from Cloud9. That first half I was like, okay, Sentinels, all right, we're looking good. But this is the perfect response. Cloud9, yeah, they're leaning a bit on Tenz to pull off some big moments, but you know what? He can repeat these. He seems to be able to pull off some repetition. So this attacking side's looking pretty deadly. Sinatraa trying to find the info. Gets a little, not a lot. And again, a bit of a default from Cloud9, not trying to be, you know, too obvious in where they want to head, but with the spike coming back around towards B potentially, it looks like that might be the final destination.
It's been their best site. Whenever you watch their footage, Cloud9's success is always over here at B. Unless Tenz is able to smoke out and rush his way deep on the A site. Here we go. The stack's coming in. It's going to be the double peek. Every corner is going to be checked. And of course, Sinatraa on the other side, you heard him, using his shock bolts. Trying to lay down some early damage, but he misses wide.
Okay, patience being shown here.
Now you know. And this is where the Odin is so good.
What is that aim from Sinatraa? Flicks
just...
everywhere, but the site, it's Cloud9's. And as much as, yes, we're seeing a couple of individuals here and there, this is good from Cloud9. That's a nice site take. Yes, the retake's still very deadly, but they have the players in the right positions. But they're going to have to bank on Tenz maybe being good for 1 or 2 here, because even with the low HP, they need to tilt these odds in their favor.
Got the man advantage, and you also have a Resurrect still on stick if needed here for the Sentinels. And he's going to go for a quick heal on ShahZaM, so everyone brought back to full health. Tenz, just 24 HP. 1 bolt will take him down. Sentinels are stacking up. Everyone pushing from the same side, and Dapr and ShahZaM are going to power their way through the first 2. Final player in the back, it's Relyks. It's a Bulldog. It's a Dream versus 4. He's stalled, but not long enough. as it will be Sentinels taking their 11th round here. A strong defense after giving up a few to Cloud9.
That's fine margins though. Is Sinatraa gonna do this? Ridiculous. Like what is that? What is that? Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It works.
He snaps.
You know, if you'd only got one there, that post plan would have been substantially harder. That retake probably wouldn't have been, you know, working so well. The damage that you got towards Tenz was pretty imperative too. But they found a way forward. So for me, I want more of that from Cloud9. They're getting the flow right. They're getting these vibes. But look at the money. It's been broken off the back of this.
It's all Tenz. It's all Tenz again. So anytime they get in this situation, you are banking on the double kill from Tenz to kick things open, take the opponent's gun, and then hold the site. That's how they've been able to pull off their eco rounds in the past. They did it yesterday against Homeless. They did it against every team they've played on this map from the streams I was watching in Tenz point of view.
Blocking sight.
All right, Tenz, we've seen this before. The smoke, one more comes in. He gets up close and personal. This time just pops it straight up and down. Looking around, looks towards heaven. He finds one. Tenz is looking good on this. And there's another victim. Tenz is so damn good in these rounds. But Spike's not gone down here, Puckett. There's still dangers aplenty.
I don't know how he does it. He is so consistent. Definitely the most efficient player with a Jet ultimate. Now, he may have to bait a teammate or two here, but expect him to be good for the right click. And down goes the wall. Tenz is going to punish zombs. Don't you reload at me, boy. Doesn't have his up trap, so he's going to have to play low ground here. But what should have been a round for the Sentinels, the Jet, a superhero, is going to keep 4 up for the attackers with 2 defenders probably keeping their guns.
Tenz is just a goddamn game changer.
Okay,
this guy.
Sinatraa.
Okay, Sinatra's he's not out of it. But the time's not going to allow much more. They can cost him.
Right.
But the round's theirs, no matter which way you want to cut this. And Tenz's value, unbelievable. His economy management is good too. Remember that. His team, money was shot. But he kept his ult, he kept that in mind, he didn't pop it any earlier. And he's been able to garner them around that technically shouldn't have been theirs. You know, again, I don't have to explain economy to most people, but it's a factor. You shouldn't necessarily win with just pistols when you're broken off the back of it, but him being able to do that gets them right back on this great purchase, right back on the right track. Look at how these rounds have gone. It's bits and pieces for Sentinels, but when you have so many rounds from that first half, it doesn't take too long to close, but we are almost on level pegging here.
ShahZaM and Sinatraa combining for 43 kills. Tenz on the other side with 22 kills of his own. Star players all over this grand finals, and it has been a joy to watch, especially with plays like we just saw in the previous round. But what will Tenz and friends be able to pull off here as Cloud9 are trying to ease their way back into this map? Remember, down 7-5 at the half. This has been way more successful than I expected.
I think this is just your every day of the week 3-2 split for now. There goes Omen's utility, trying to set up the plays through short, and now let's see what ShahZaM can do. Plenty of utility, but it's zombs to succeed against Mitch and Shinobi, but Tenz still stands, and that means there's always a threat around.
I know exactly.
Out comes the Cypher ult. Good recon dart coming in from Sinatraa, though, is going to give some information to the defenders. Now, ShahZaM is trying to set this one up with some bursts through the wall. Force players into his teammate as Sinatraa is pinching from the opposite side. ShahZaM is doing the damage himself. Tenz versus ShahZaM, and the duo again holding it down as Sick is going to get the defuse. That may be the game winner for the Sentinels. Will they be able to lock this one up?
It's a nice edge. You get this site, you take the site, get the spike down, you got Tenz looking good, looking ready to go, but then the retake, you can't allow ShahZaM to do this to you. You could see they wanted to try and take that short control back so they could hold the site a little bit more comfortably, but this has broken the economy again. And at this point, they have to just all invest. There's nothing more to be done. They can't hold back anything. It's time to buy in because it's map point. Of course, this is a long series. It is a best of 5, and also, you will get your golden boy Gaskin pretty soon as well.
They're
They'll be
coming.
taking over the end game. Don't you worry. You aren't going to miss it. Speaking of not missing it, this has been an excellent game thus far. This is probably the more biased map, I'd say, in favor of the Sentinels. And we still have a 10-12 scoreline. That's very telling for a damn good series.
Sinatraa has used his full kit. Out comes the owl drone from Shinobi. And Mitch is going to make a little bit of noise. Let him know, hey, you're only going to see me, bro. Sentinels also holding their positions much stronger now. Previously, they were biting kind of early in the rounds. Now they're taking their time. The Omen ultimate coming out, trying to distract. And it looks like just some early mid pressure. They'll try and work their way in, rush through the B door, and execute full as we've seen in the past.
Okay, good info. Sinatraa now out of util. This is going to be a 3-2 split again towards B, though, and they've been getting these spikes down, Puckett, but it's holding those post plants, but this time there's 3 players here to defend. This might be trickier to take.
And do you remember last time with the Rolling Thunder? That is the attempt again on the retake, but this time ShahZaM cut down. Sinatraa did find Tenz. And with the Sheriff, he could have had a second one here. Nice trade as his teammate was backing him up. That was sick, but both players now down on site. Spike is going to go down any moment. This is going to be up to Dapr working with his Omen. And what can they get done? Dapr taking down Tenz as the res comes in from Mitch. Dapr's so clean so far. And that's a great parallel.
This is not looking too good if you're Cloud9. These post plants have to hold, and zombs find Shinobi. There's still one standing. And around the world we go. Look, who's buying time? It's the other Omen. They've readjusted. Zombs is none the wiser, but can they do... He's holding it. He just gets off the defuse. Relyks, well played to Relyks there. So well handled. He took himself away from the site when he felt that retake coming in. Yeah, he kind of left his teammate to die, but he was playing for the bigger picture. He was playing for the plant. He goes around the world, comes back in, spots the defuse, dealt with. Nicely controlled in a high pressure moment.
Man, ShahZaM is kicking himself for that Rolling Thunder. It was short on multiple players and then getting instantly picked as he peeks through the smoke, just assuming everyone was going to be rocked by it. Coward. Sentinels could have finished it right there. Now we see an overtime opportunity for Cloud9. If they win this, it'll be the first to 2 as we go into OT.
Get out of my way.
One more to go. Mid-aggression being shown by the defensive side. They've got 2 players waiting on the other side of that smoke. They're going to burst through this one. There is an Omen on the other side. Tenz is right there as well. Oh, everyone's going for these crazy plays. Tenz pops the ult. They're all looking for those opening picks, but no one's giving it away just yet. Relyks finds ShahZaM, and suddenly it's looking pretty good for OT if they keep going this way.
Dapr on your screen with a terrible weapon for this range, but he is going to make it work. That is Stinger taking down Relyks. Out comes the knives, though, as Tenz finds one. Can't finish off Sick, and Sick is going to make that one count.
It's a 2v3. It's not over yet. Sick needs to do more, and he's done just that. One towards Mitch.
Wow.
The second again. This is 3 now for him. He finds a third on Vice. And it all falls down to the final man standing, Shinobi. In the 1v2, he's full HP, decent armor. They've got the good read here, Puckett. They know where he is. He won't... Surely he doesn't get a free spike plant? Or do they play purely for this retake? They're getting close. They want to end this one now.
In-game leader for Cloud9 will be outgunned by zombs, and that will do it. Sentinels lock up map number 1, 13-11, way closer than we saw in the group stages. And if this first map is any indicator, this grand finals is gonna be so tight.
That's huge. Again, most people coming into this would argue, yeah, this is the Sentinels map. It's a really good map for them. If they got the right side of the knife, they would have probably doubled up on it. They would have probably wanted this twice. But a 13-11, you can't ask for anything more. Sure, OT, maybe, but what a great, great map to start this one off with.
Taking a look at the numbers, Tenz, of course, impressing, especially when they don't have any weapons. 25 and 23 on the other side. Sinatraa